From Studio 1A in Tampa, Florida, comes a talk show that really feels your pain and tells you like it is. We love America and all that freedom-loving Americans want to protect. Live from coast to coast and on your radio, it's For the People with Keith Allen.
We'll help you survive this thing called life. We're for the people. Whatever your source of stress or strife, for the people is there.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Keith Allen and proudly welcoming you into this Wednesday's edition of For the People. It's kind of like Thanksgiving Eve, if you will, on this Wednesday, November the 22nd, 2017. We have a powerful show. We have to say that. I mean, do you want me to say that we're having a week show? A preemptive show that we've already taken off the holiday? No, we cannot do that. We're here live. But tomorrow we're not. So that's have made a big deal out of that. But a best of show, so you still, all your turkey affairs, if you're having turkey, listen to For the People, because it will be a great show for you. It always is. And we don't hardly ever take off any time, but we are. And I need your help. First hour, if you didn't make that in today, didn't listen to the first hour, I'm looking for deviled egg requests. For recipes, basically, a request for your recipe. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. If you have a passed down recipe, if you have one that's a sure crowd pleaser kind of a thing where everybody just kind of just really likes it. A friend of mine had sent me this big batch because he has a big family that's coming in, and he kind of does the cooking thing too with his wife. And they have deviled eggs, all right? And it made me hungry because I like deviled eggs, but I've never really made them myself. I've eaten other people's deviled eggs, and I've enjoyed deviled eggs, and I want to make my own deviled eggs. And I get the idea of the boil, but you got to cut them a certain way. You got to boil them, right? And then you take out the middle. And then what do you put in the middle? What's the stuff? I mean, it's the egg goo, it's the yolk, but what do you mix it in there with? I mean, I would think mayonnaise, maybe. You could have a little spicy mayonnaise, maybe some boar's head mustard, maybe, because it has that color, right? Is it the mustard flavor? So it's got to have some mustard. Maybe a little mayo, but then what's the spices that you put in? I don't know. So I am looking for suggestions, and I will give you kudos come Monday. I'll let you know how it came out and how people responded to the devil egg. But if you have one, forthepeopleshow.com, email me on our website. And somebody asked me today, is For the People the number 4? No, it's spelled out for, F-O-R, not the number 4, but F-O-R, thepeopleshow.com, F-O-R, T-H-E, thepeopleshow.com. Maybe we're going to have to start doing that. Not the number 4, but spelled out like 4, F-O-R, for the people. All right? And for the people, by the people, that kind of people. But make sure you put show after For the People, because you'll end up with Morgan & Morgan. And he says he is for the people. He's for himself. Yeah. Group of lawyers all over the country with the same name. We actually have had this name For the People for probably almost 3 decades before Morgan & Morgan actually came into existence. The problem was it was copyrighted, and the former host of the broadcast somehow they didn't pay the copyright on it, and it expired, so he's able to use it. But we have For the People Show. That's trademarked. And we have that domain forever. We bought it big time so nobody could take it over. But it's real easy to remember. And anyways, we'd love for you, because everybody has recipes. Not everybody's willing to share them, though. It's kind of like Colonel Sanders. What's actually in that recipe with all those spices, right? But everybody has certain recipes and maybe a turkey recipe. You know what? Why not? Because I am making a turkey, put it in the bag. I put it in the bag because I never want to dry it out. I know if you keep on basting the turkey and basting the turkey and basting, you get the idea. It doesn't go dry, but sometimes not even that works. So the bag seems to be a mainstay. Garlic, always garlic. Lots of nice fresh ground pepper, always that. I like to put some wine on my turkey. How about you? Some nice white wine. That just really hooks up. Some people use mojo. Isn't that for pork? No, they use that for turkey too. Yeah, you could just put all these consortium of different spices and things like that. But this is not a cooking show. Stop it. Let's get into some meat and potatoes. No pun intended. Okay, North Korea. They're not very happy with Donald Trump. And why is North Korea not happy with Trump? It had nothing to do with a tweet this time. What Kim Jong-un and his regime are mad about because now they have ended up for the holiday season just in time for Thanksgiving. He is on the top of the list for state sponsor of terrorism. And they're calling it a serious provocation and violent infringement, according to North Korean state media. Trump put North Korea back on the list of state sponsors, in case you didn't know, on Monday. And a designation that allows the United States to impose more sanctions, and that's why he did it. Now, some experts weighing in on this say that with this said, it's going to risk inflaming tensions over North Korea's nuclear weapons and missile programs. That's the idea. We want this guy to come to the table. They have tried concessions. They've tried to get this guy to come to the table, and he's not. He doesn't want to break bread with us. He doesn't want to hold hands with us. He doesn't want to sing Kumbaya with us. What he wants to do is keep on launching these missiles, but we got now, 4 aircraft carriers out there in the Pacific? And there might be 5. Isn't there the USS Ronald Reagan steaming into Japan because we had some military folks crash in? That you've heard that? Yeah, the plane went down. So unfortunately that didn't go so well. So we don't know if you have any live bodies that they picked out of the water for the plane crash, but they dispatched the USS Ronald Reagan. So that could be 5 now aircraft carriers in the general vicinity. But he hasn't launched anything in 3 months? A little over 3 months. September. So, yeah, that could be two and a half months. So this is a good thing. I hope he doesn't strike during Thanksgiving. I feel like that would be pretty annoying and frustrating, but he likes to do these things, keep people in suspense. But I think holidays would be a good thing because he knows that everybody's enjoying them things and wants to put a little scare in people's Thanksgiving dinner. He just seems that kind of guy, kind of sinister. I don't like this guy. What is going viral talking about North Korea? This is like all over the news channels. North Korean soldier, did you see this? He was making a desperate dash into South Korea in a Jeep from North Korea, and then on foot. Unfortunately, this guy was shot at least 5 times as he was limping across the border. But what made this very interesting, in this dramatic video released by the U.S.-led UN command today, was that they crossed over the DMZ. The North Korean military violated the UN Armistice Agreement not once, but twice. First, when North Korea fired across the military line, the MDL, and then when a North Korean soldier crossed the line to pursue his comrade. So North Korea violated the Armistice Agreement, ending the Korean War by firing across and physically crossing the border in pursuit of the soldier. Colonel Chad Carroll, a spokesperson for the UN command, told reporters in a live TV briefing North Korea soldiers fired about 40 rounds at the defector, who at this moment remains hospitalized after 2 rounds of surgery. The video shows the soldier speeding down a tree-lined road past dun-colored fields and shocked North Korean soldiers who began to run after him. So he ends up crashing the Jeep near the line that divides north and south, and the blue huts, familiar to anyone who's toured the area, which is the part of the border where North and South Korean soldiers face each other at their closest distance, just meters or feet away. There was no tour groups at the time of the defection, according to Carroll. So, folks, these people are escaping a very inhumane place. The propaganda pieces that people see, and people like to believe that they treat their people so humanely. They treat their people that they want to treat, work for the government or give something to them, but drink the Kool-Aid, and if you do not, you get shipped off somewhere in a remote area where you're starving to death, and where people actually end up with parasites in their bodies. You know the young lady that they showed the parasites from being over there? It's just it's that disgusting over there that people actually have parasites in them. It's the stuff they're probably eating. Like grass is a vegetable over there. Even in China, by the way, too. There's a lot of poverty in China. A lot of people don't think, they see the big cities over there, they think, oh man, so prosperous. There's a lot of friggin' poor, impoverished, and, like poor people over here. The problem is over there in China, there's just a whole lot more people that are hungry, that are hurting. And we live in a very wonderful place, folks, in America. And I got to tell you, like that soldier was trying to escape, even though he's shot, he's in South Korea. He's not going to be going back to the North. He's got his freedom. And I'm sure he's got tales to tell. We learned so much more about the Hermit Kingdom, the oppressive kingdom, the inhumane kingdom. Man who terrorizes with this program that could kill feasibly tens of millions of people. This guy has to be checked. And I believe that there's going to be a showdown. I don't know when. I don't think this guy is going to give up very easily. And I don't think he's going to be coming to the table because he does not want, because people say the reason he doesn't come to the table is because that he feels like if he does not finish and show the world that he's capable of hitting any target anywhere with a nuke, that his survival depends on it. And so he has to have these powers on top of all the other things, horrible things, in these gulags and places there that I've seen documentaries and the defectors that come out. If you've looked for some documentaries, I'm telling you, no matter how bad, seriously, no matter how bad you might have it, there is people that have it so much worse over there. So count your blessings this Thanksgiving. All right. President Donald Trump, before going to Mel Largo in the Sunshine State, where I do my broadcast from, Tampa, Florida, he's a little bit further south of Mel Largo, enjoying himself on the phone for an hour with Russia's Vladimir Putin, discussing efforts to bring peace, which is a nice thought, to Syria during a hour-plus phone call. On Tuesday, Iran, North Korea, and Ukraine also were on the agenda of the White House. Trump called it a great call as he left the White House to spend Thanksgiving in Florida, and noting the length. He said 1 hour. He said he and Putin spoke very strongly about bringing peace to Syria and very strongly about North Korea. Trump's phone call with Russian president came a day after Putin met with Syrian President Bashar Assad. Putin hosted Assad at a Black Sea resort ahead of the summit later this week with Russia, Turkey, and Iran. Assad was called to Russia